Welcome to Spotlight Sessions, where we shine
What's
a light
your
on
story?
incredible impact. What does accessibility mean to you?
What's your mission?
So let's just jump in, and can you tell us a little bit about you? Hello, and welcome to another episode of accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions, where we interview and highlight leaders and disability change makers in the community. My name is Sapir, and I'm your host for today's episode. I head up accessiBe's nonprofit partnership program team, and I'm really excited to have Jorge on the podcast today. So welcome, Jorge.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here, Sapir, and I look forward to us having a conversation.
Amazing. And we're so excited to highlight you. So let's just jump in. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm Jorge de Moya, or Jorge de Moya, whichever. If you're able to roll the R or not, don't hurt yourself. You could say either or for me. Cuban American, born and raised here in Miami, Florida. I've went to high school here, lived my whole life here. My whole family's here. That's 365 deep. I think that was how many was on our guest list for my wedding. The De Moya family is huge, and we've very lucky and very blessed and fortunate to be in the position that we're in. We've worked really hard our whole lives, where we are now at the position where we were able to start a foundation. And that is the De Moya Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization. It was spearheaded by my mother, Liliana De Moya, and inspired by my younger brother, Alex De Moya, is a young adult with developmental disabilities, or as we say, unique abilities. Because every single young adult that we've encountered has a unique ability about them. And what we do is we highlight that through employment. So our goal is to create these employment opportunities for young adults with unique abilities. But it's not just an opportunity, it's a career. It's long-term employment. The reason being is when a young adult like my brother hits the age of 22, the services completely fall off. There's no support. They're out of the school system, whatever school training they were able to get or go to. And especially here in Miami, Florida, there was absolutely nothing as a family when we were growing up. And we knew that my brother had his challenges, but wanted to go to college. He actually heard I was going to college. I was going to Full Sail University up in Orlando. And he was like, if my brother's going, so am I. And we all kind of looked at each other. We just got you through high school. Like my mom in particular was like, how on earth am I going to get you to go to a college program that doesn't exist? There was no college program at that time. And my brother, very funnily enough, just looked at her and said, go do what you go do. Let me know when I can start going to college. He knew deep down that my mom was a visionary, was an innovator, and would make sure to get stuff done for him. He just didn't know in what capacity. So he was just like, all right, Mom, go make it happen, because I know you're going to be able to. And so we've been around now for about 7 years, almost 7 or 8 years. I keep saying less than that, but we've been around longer. And our goal is to shed a light on that this is a community that is untapped, that nobody is looking at, that constantly gets left behind. There are all kinds of great programs out there for starting your own business, women-led starting your own businesses, African American, Hispanic, but nothing regarding disabilities. And disabilities is the largest minority group, because a disability does not shed a light on your race, your color, your sex, your sexual orientation, none of it. And so we really want to showcase that more, how phenomenal these young adults are and how they have unique abilities. We just got to channel what that ability is and show the world how amazing they can be and how much they can contribute. So I'm just going to keep rambling, because that's what ends up happening with me. I just get
I
going.
think you shared so many gems. I think you really hit so many amazing points. First of all, how cool that your family is so involved and invested in the foundation, and the way that you look up to your mother for the work that she's done, the way that you look up to your brother for the inspiration that he brought, and the way that you are all involved in pushing this together. Can you share some memorable experiences from the time since the Demoya Foundation was created?
Absolutely. So, since the Moya Foundation was created, I actually joined as a media consultant. That was when I first started because I saw what my mom was doing. She put together a charity event at her house. She turned the guest room into an office, hired one employee, and was like, okay, I am going to get a few of these young adults some jobs and some careers.
Yeah.
That is now 102 young adults. So it went from a few to 102. So because of that growth, she started looking to family, and our family has always been super supportive. All of our cousins get involved one way or another. My uncles and my grandparents were all involved and big parts of my brother's life. And they continue to be as they've all grown up. Myself, I come from a film and TV background. I worked on movie sets and TV shows, and I always wanted to produce positive content. That was always my goal. I wanted to produce something that was positive. I loved Good News Movement or Some Good News, which was a channel from John Krasinski. Those are the
I
things that I
love that.
really loved. And so then when COVID hit, we all kind of looked at each other and we're like, what on earth are we going to do? And we started talking as a group, and I started mentioning there's a lot of things going on in the podcast world, in the Zoom world, where maybe there's a way we can interact with our young adults and keep them engaged, keep them employed, and help them through this process. So we started a virtual platform that had virtual classes, and those kinds of things now stick with us because the virtual classes, the power ups, which is a huge monthly meetup of 150 young adults every month virtually to discuss job placement, to discuss how do I dress when I go to an interview, to discuss what is the appropriate amount of drinks at the Christmas party. Something probably we all should learn. Uh, and so those kinds of classes started, coming into play. And that whole virtual platform is now a key part of our extended services and our success. It's a part of those extended services that we offer that not many other, actually, not any other employment providers can provide. So, because of that, we have a large retention rate. With that large retention rate, which is about 82% of a retention rate, we're able to hit employment for 5+ years. 7 of our young adults have hit 5 years of employment. Just recently, for anybody listening in the local area, Tank Brewery / Twisted Fork has a sous chef by the name of James, who's from our program. All he ever wanted to do was work in a kitchen and cook. Not only is he there for 5 years, but he worked as their chef through COVID and kept going. They actually would say, we can't let him go. He's amazing. He's just always on time, super loyal. James would even joke about, my autism will not let me veer from the recipe. So he was consistent, like with the recipes. I can't do that. No, why would I change it? My autism is not going to let me do that. So not only did he hit 5 years recently, but he celebrated that 5 years with getting himself a new car.
That's
I
totally cool.
mean, that's something that as a kid you always dream about, getting a new car. This is the same opportunities that we've all been given and been lucky to have. That was always such a huge hurdle for our guys, and now they're able to do that.
Yeah.
And what I want people to hear the most is that means he bought a new car. That means he contributed to society, contributed to the community.
Mm-hmm.
He's
And
taking
also
his
got
heart.
something out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Really cool story. Thank you so
and,
much for sharing that one.
and
So
that's just one. We have hundreds of these. It's really a lot of fun.
that's awesome. So with that in mind, what's one thing that you wish people knew about people with disabilities in a story like that one of James or your brother?
They're not the only story. I would like people to know that these stories, I could go on and on about each and every one of them. And what I would like for people to know that these young adults with unique abilities will surprise you. And the reason why they will surprise you is a little bit because of our program and because of our own morals. We instilled those in my brother and we instill those in our young adults. We do not let whatever the usual things that society allows for young adults with disabilities happen. We expect more. So there are many young adults that take advantage of certain programs and take advantage of certain situations, or will say, oh, they'll let that slide because I have a disability. We actually kind of say, all right, let's elevate, let's challenge, let's push, because if you push for more, you're going to get more. So we are a little tough in that sense, in that regard, right? And it's a delicate balance because you have to be tough to be able to push them to their best ability while also still being sensitive and empathetic to some of the challenges and helping with whatever those accommodations are. So there is a delicate balance there. But we realize that if we push and ask for more, we're going to get more and expect more. Be like, I'm sorry. No, sir. You can definitely do this. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can. So we approach it from that positive standpoint. And that's what we want people to know is that if they open that door, they're going to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're thinking there's so many challenges, what am I going to do from an HR perspective? A program like ours takes care of that. We are the HR. We provide the job coaching. We provide a disability sensitivity training for you and your whole staff. We're not just supporting the young adult, but we're supporting his or her coworkers and the staff. And that's kind of the difference between us and a lot of other employment programs. Is that we're not there just to support the young adult. We're there to support the company. And we even support the company more sometimes than the young adult. We kind of tell them, so and so, just as an example, George Fernandez, law firm of ours, that is an employer partner, opened up a spot. So we tell our young adults, this opportunity is open. Who wants it? Who's ready to walk through those doors? And when somebody comes a little hesitant, they're not doing the work, they're not following the pre-training, they're not attending our classes, we tell them, okay, you're not qualified. Sorry, we're going to go to the next person. They're like, wait, no, but I want it. You got to show us that you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And we tell our clients, the companies, this. You're our client. Trust me, if they are not ready or show any kind of hesitation or for whatever reason, it could be that they are just not ready. It's a big deal to get your first job. My first job, I definitely wasn't ready. It lasted 2 weeks. So we want to give that kind of opportunity and kind of let companies know, hey, we're on your side. We're with you. We want to make this successful. And if you open that door, the possibilities are amazing. Your entire work culture is going to change. You're going to be going to work and you're going to enjoy things more than you did originally because there's somebody at your company that loves it, that wants to be there, that wants to do the grunt work, that wants to do the shredding and the scanning, that is just thrilled for the socialization part of that you offered to bring them lunch or that you're going to get to go to a happy hour. We spend so much time with our work family that we don't treat it as a family, and we should.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting that as a family started foundation, you really adhere to the community aspects of the work, whether it's at the employer side or the young adults that you work with. And it really is a testament to it takes a village because you have to put
Absolutely.
in the effort. And then once
100%.
you do that, you can create more opportunities for everyone,
Yeah.
whether that's on the socialization side or the actual employment or the values and the benefits that they can drive from it.
Yeah,
So
and
really interesting story.
we treat it all like as a village. We include our employer partners in anything that we're marketing. We have a golf tournament and a gala, maybe even a fishing tournament this year. It's not quite
Really cool.
locked in yet. We want to promote those companies too. So we have that opportunity to promote them. So of course, we're going to put their logo on the golf balls, and we're going to put their logo as a header for our YouTube channel. If they have a commercial, they can send it to us. We'll put it in our YouTube channel before some of our content pieces.
Okay.
We want to promote that. Why spend your marketing dollars on something that doesn't impact the community? Spend it with us. We're a nonprofit organization. Give it to our gala, give it to our golf tournament, and we'll promote you guys as much as we possibly can.
So what else would you say that brands and businesses should know or should do to enhance their accessibility and inclusion?
So, for brands and businesses, when it comes to enhancing their accessibility and to enhance their inclusion, is don't just do the bare minimum.
Mhm.
Look deeper into it. And also understand maybe your target. ADA Awareness Day is actually coming up as we're recording. I believe it's July 26th. So I'm not sure when this releases, but ADA Awareness Day is July 26th. And a lot of times that involves physical disabilities and the wheelchair ramps and the accessibility of the bathrooms and being able to, and all of that is awesome. It's excellent that we have that. But dig deeper. If you have an automated system to buy tickets, is the website to buy tickets ADA compliant for vision impairment, for hearing impairment? Is it also accessible for those with an invisible disability, autism, developmental disabilities? Is it light sensitive? Is it a little too much noise, sensory? There's a lot more. And companies and brands, they may feel like overwhelmed with all that.
Mhm.
Look at who your target is though,
Yeah.
and then focus on your target. Because if you're just focusing on your customers and you're focusing on your target, you'll see, okay, I don't have to do too much in this area. I have it 88 compliant, but I do have quite a few that really love going to our art gallery, but it's a little loud. So I'm gonna do a little bit more in terms of the sensory to the hearing. So finding those little tidbits, so to speak, is what a lot of brands can do if they just dig a little deeper and be open to more conversations with organizations like the Moya Foundation, like organizations like the Wow Center, which is also very prominent for our younger demo, and just have a conversation with us. Because just through that conversation, you'll see so many opportunities are available to make the entire company more inclusive, more accessible, and it's not as much work as you think. Don't get overwhelmed with everything that we're saying. It's small little things that you think are a lot, but they're not. I'm wearing these big old headphones here. That's because if somebody else is talking in an office, I'm going to be very distracted. If somebody even offers coffee, I'm leaving the interview and going that way. It's Cuban coffee, and that's where I'm going. So
I would like to go with you.
I'm sure. See, exactly. So don't be so hesitant when it comes to those things. You allow
Right.
other employees to wear headphones, listen to music while they work. Some need it to stay focused or to help them channel in, and just kind of remember that.
That's a really good segue to my last question for you,
Mhm.
which is when you hear the word accessibility, what does that mean to you?
Accessibility to me has always meant opportunity in a way. being able to have the opportunity, because that's what we want to push for. Accessibility means, okay, I have the opportunity to succeed because a tool was given at the workplace, in a social setting, in whatever situation that is. And those tools are very minimal. And I feel like they get hyper focused in our world a little bit too much, where it's really, you did the exact same thing for another employee who says, I have to listen to music while I'm working on my payroll. Okay, great. As long as the payroll's getting done, you're fine with it. So providing that same accessible tool to a young adult with autism who has sensory issues and needs headphones. Yes, you do have to get their attention a little bit more because of their roles or their tasks, but is it really that big of an extra step to give a tap on the shoulder when you need to get their attention? Because it helps them focus.
Yeah.
So providing that accessibility, providing that opportunity is really all that's needed. And if we show through our examples of what that means, all of these companies, we have 85 companies now that are employer partners. They have all seen it. Even one particular law office saw the color coding system that we put in place for one lawyer that was getting assistance from one of our young adults. That color coding system is now in every single lawyer's office because they loved it. So they were just like, wait, can I get that over there? Because those accommodations would help me even more. Or having one of the heads of a company listen to our disability and sensitivity awareness training, stop the entire training in the middle of it and goes, I have autism. And we're like, yes, George, we know. Just didn't tell you, but we knew. And so being able to have that opportunity and just give that little tool. One tool levels the playing field to the point where everyone's on the same playing field. We all need it in one capacity or another, whether it's meditation, some people prefer to work out in the mornings to get their day going, Cuban coffee, whatever it may be. So providing that extra tool.
Really cool that the Moya Foundation can be a mediator to those types of situations. And Jorge, thank you so much for being a guest on the Spotlight Sessions today. We really appreciate your time and also all of the work that you're doing.
I thank you so much, Sapir, for having me on. I appreciate it. And I hope that what we're doing here in Miami, we can be a channel that to other organizations and they can see what we're doing and how successful it's been, and see if we can just spread it, not just here in Florida, but throughout the nation, because this is a nationwide untapped workforce that is very unique and is very beneficial. So let's put them to work.
I love that, and congratulations on all your success. And to all of our listeners, thank you for staying through this episode. You can continue the conversation with us by liking and subscribing to the Spotlight Sessions, or follow us on Instagram at accessiBe_community. We look forward to seeing you there.